We're sending a reporter to the show tomorrow night, and that reporter is Dave Dormer, and he joins me in studio. Hi, Dave.
Hello.
So for those who don't know, what is the UFC?
UFC is Ultimate Fighting Championships. It's basically two people go into an octagon. The rules are pretty simple. You can't kick below the belt, you can't poke them in the eyes, and you can't kick someone in the head when they're down. Other than that, anything goes.
And you fight until either someone can't go on anymore.
You can tap out, or if the ref can stop it.
And if it goes the full distance, then judges score it?
It goes to the judges' scorecards.
So the last time the UFC was here in 2012, it didn't exactly go as planned. The promoter, Dana White, has said that it was one of the worst cards in the history of the company. What's different this time?
This time, it's a really good card. Last time, every single fighter fell out or was replaced leading up to it. This time, that hasn't happened. This morning, the weigh-ins were held. Every single fighter made weight, so the fights are going to go on. And I would call it almost a blockbuster card. It's going to be one of the better ones of the year, and it being a free show, basically live on Fox, rather than a pay-per-view, I think that makes it even bigger.
Right. So, and you've been to quite a few of the events this week. What's the buzz like out there for this card?
There's been a lot of fans. I mean, they did open workouts on Wednesday at the Palace Theater, and that place was packed. They did the weigh-ins this morning. That place was packed. 5 o'clock tonight, they're going to do the ceremonial weigh-ins at the Saddle Dome. They're expecting a few thousand. And tomorrow night, there should be about 10,000 people in the Saddle Dome.
So what's your sense? Has enough time gone by now that we're not soured on the last experience?
I think this is going to make up for the last experience. I mean, this card is good enough, and there's going to be fireworks tomorrow night. So,
all right, let's talk about some of those fireworks. There's a Calgary fighter on the card. What's his name?
Yeah, Hakeem Dawodu.
What's he all about?
He fights at 145 pounds. This is going to be his second fight in the UFC. His first one really didn't go according to plan. He got basically choked out, or he tapped out in under a minute. But Hakeem is a legitimate fighter. You can't judge that first fight on him. And I think within 5 years, you could see him making a title run.
And another Alberta fighter on the card as well?
There is Jordan Meehan. He's fighting in the welterweight category. He's an experienced guy, very powerful. That should be another good fight. They're both fighting on the undercard.
How about the main event? I talked about it off the top. What should we expect there?
The main event is going to be fireworks. These are two guys that are known as absolute brawlers. They both just recently fought a guy named Justin Gaethje. And when Eddie fought him, they fought for the title of most violent man in the UFC, which Eddie won. Dustin has since beaten Justin as well. So they could be fighting for the title, unofficial title of most violent man in the UFC.
I think if you're the most violent man in the UFC, that's a pretty high bar of violence, isn't it?
That is.
So, I mean, we talk about the violence, the choking and the punching and all that kind of stuff. Are these guys making a living doing this?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you look at the number one draw in the sport is Conor McGregor. He fought Floyd Mayweather last year. He made $100 million off that. These guys, I mean, some of the lower fighters, they only make, a few $1,000s off fights, but some of the big names, they can make in the millions.
And it's not just men, right, Dave?
No, there is going to be two Canadian ladies fighting on the card tomorrow night, Alexis Davis and Randa Marcos, and we're going to get to see Joanna Jędrzejczyk, who I would say is one of the more popular fighters in the world, male or female.
Dave, you look like you're excited for tomorrow night.
I am.
Were you there in 2012?
I was.
What'd you think?
It was a fun event. I mean, the UFC production value is really great. I mean, the atmosphere is fun. It's a really good time. It's not just so much about fighting. It's entertainment.
Great. Well, have fun tomorrow night, and we'll talk to you about it later.
Thank you.